machete down! Put the machete down! Put the machete down!
Put the machete down now, you dog!
Put the machete down. Those were the words shouted by armed police as officers raided the home of a man linked to a brutal kidnap and robbery plot that began months earlier in the Cambridgeshire countryside. But the story of how it got there started with a carefully planned trap. In June 2021, 2 construction workers from London received an opportunity that seemed too good to ignore. A man calling himself Lee Kennedy claimed he was planning a land development project near Wisbech in Cambridgeshire. The workers were invited to meet him to discuss the potential deal. What they did not know was that Lee Kennedy did not exist. It was a fake identity created by 2 men, Norman Hitchings and Christopher Griffiths. On the 30th of June, the victims traveled to Cambridgeshire and met Hitchings, believing he was the man behind the development project. He arrived driving a BMW X5. Hitchings told the men he would take them to see the land. They followed him to a remote apple orchard along Barton Road in the village of Gorefield. But the moment they arrived, the situation changed. Hitchings signaled to 3 other men nearby. They approached wearing bandanas across their faces, and they were carrying weapons. Among them was Christopher Griffiths. The victims were immediately forced to the ground. Their hands were cable-tied. Their wallets and mobile phones were taken. Then Hitchings leaned over one of the men and pressed a knife against his throat. "You owe Lee Builders 77 grand, he said. "Pay now or else." Terrified and restrained, the victim was forced to unlock his phone. Hitchings watched as £77,000 was transferred from the victim's account into another bank account controlled by the gang. The men were then warned not to contact police. The gang told them they knew where the victims worked and where they lived. After the transfer was completed, the attackers fled, leaving the victims alone in the orchard, still cable-tied. Eventually, the 2 men managed to free themselves. They walked to a nearby farm and called police. What followed was a lengthy investigation. Detectives from Cambridgeshire Police began tracing the fake identity used to lure the victims. They soon discovered a burner mobile phone that had been used to contact the construction workers. CCTV footage later showed Norman Hitchings topping up the phone at multiple locations. The BMW used to transport the victims was also traced back to him. Phone records revealed that Hitchings and Christopher Griffiths had communicated more than 150 times in the lead-up to the robbery. Months later, police moved in to make arrests. During a raid on Griffiths' property, officers were confronted with a dangerous situation. Body cam footage captured the moment police ordered him to drop a weapon. "Put the machete down."
Put the machete down! Put the machete down! Put the machete down! Put the machete down!
Put the machete down now, you dog! Put that down! What are you doing?
Put the machete down!
Don't do that!
Put the machete down!
Put your hands in the air!
My hands are up! My hands are up!
Turn around!
My hands are up! Alright, don't do that, listen! I'm not doing anything! My hands are up! Alright, don't do that! I'm not doing.
Stay calm.
I don't know! I don't know who's at my door! I don't know who's at my door! I've got my kids here!
And you got that here?
Okay. Mr. Griffiths.
Yes, mate.
Okay. I'm DC 2357 Trevor. I work at Cambridgeshire Police. At this point, I'm arresting you on conspiracy to commit robbery.
Robbery?
Yep.
From where?
Kidnap and false imprisonment.
Kidnap and false imprisonment?
Okay.
Mate, I've just come back in. I've just scored and come back in. I ain't been anywhere.
The time is now 7:30 hours. Okay, you do not have to say anything, but I'm in harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something about in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand?
Kidnap and robbery. I've just
It is in relation to a robbery that is believed to have occurred on or around the 1st of July of this year, where some businessmen had £77,000 stolen from them.
To do with me?
Yes.
I don't know, but I haven't. But mate, I don't know. But I don't know anything about that, mate. I don't know anything about that, mate.
Okay. Sorry to come and bother you. Okay, I'm DC Trevor that's leading this job. Okay. We've got a job to do. We had to force entry to do it.
Okay.
Chris is under arrest.
What?
And he'll be coming with us for a number of hours today. It's in relation to an incident a few months ago.
So the warrant was him?
The warrant, I've got a copy of the warrant.
Okay.
A warrant has been sworn out by a judge for us to attend this address, okay? This is your copy. I'll sit down and go through it with you in a moment. We just got a problem is Chris has come to the front door with a machete. I can half understand why with us forcing entry to the door.
For that, or
No, I've
different?
arrested him for something else.
Okay. Right.
Okay. And I'll go over that bit.
Yeah, sorry.
I know it's the adrenaline's going at the moment. I apologise for that. All right. And but we've just got to
Why do you knock? Why did you break my door? You're not answering.
There are reasons for it. I just can't. I'll go through it all with you in a moment. Okay. We've got Griffiths, but he came to the door with a machete, so it's all been a bit manic here.
The case eventually went to trial at Peterborough Crown Court. Following a 9-day hearing, the jury found Norman Hitchings and Christopher Griffiths guilty of conspiracy to commit robbery and kidnap. Griffiths was also convicted of fraud. Both men were sentenced to 10 years in prison, 20 years in total. Detective Constable Craig Trevor described the crime as a carefully planned robbery, where victims were lured into a trap through a fake development deal. Thanks to financial investigators, police were able to trace and recover the stolen £77,000. The money was returned to the victims, and the men responsible were finally brought to justice.
Like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest crime updates.